Digital Renaissance. Mastering Modern Sales Tactics in a Changing World. By Parry Bunnell. Copyright 2023 by Parry Bunnell. All rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or by any means, including photocopying, recording, or other electronic or mechanical methods, without the prior written permission of the publisher, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical reviews and certain other non-commercial uses permitted by copyright law. Chapter 1, Introduction. The world seemed to shimmer, its essence perpetually in flux. Buildings once standing tall now dwarfed by the towering structures of glass and steel. Streets once filled with the buzz of door-to-door salespeople, with their polished shoes and rehearsed pitches, now seemed silent. The cacophony of the past was replaced by the silent tapping of fingers on keyboards and the faint pings of incoming notifications. In the heart of Manhattan, Jacob Keller stood overlooking the city. Behind him, the lavish office of Keller and Associates buzzed with activity. Once a powerhouse in traditional sales, the company now faced an existential challenge. A challenge not from a competitor, but from time itself. Jacob remembered the days when his father would narrate tales of his travels, of shaking hands with business owners, of building relationships over lunches and golf games. Deals were sealed with trust and a firm handshake. But now, those days seemed like tales from an ancient tome, almost mythic in nature. The horizon was changing. No longer were relationships merely nurtured in dimly lit restaurants and conference rooms. The new age required more than just a pleasant demeanor and a persuasive pitch. The digital age had dawned, and with it, the landscape of sales had transformed drastically. Leaning forward, Jacob pressed his fingers against the cool glass. The reflections of neon billboards advertising the latest tech gadgets seemed to mock him. He remembered a time when sales were straightforward. You had a product, you pitched it, and if the stars aligned, you closed the deal. But now, those stars seem to be scattered across a vast digital universe, with algorithms and data analytics forming constellations of their own. Why does the past cling to me so? Jacob mused, turning away from the window. The office behind him, once filled with the symphony of ringing phones, now echoed with the subdued conversations about SEO, PPC, and digital outreach. Maggie, his trusted assistant of 15 years, walked up to him. "You okay, Jake?" He smiled wistfully. "Just reminiscing about simpler times." She nodded, her gaze following his to the city below. "Times change. We have to change with them." "It's not just about changing, Mag. It's about letting go." Jacob's voice trembled with emotion. "Letting go of what we knew, of what we were comfortable with." Maggie placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "But think of all the possibilities. The world is larger now, more connected. We can reach clients halfway across the globe without leaving this office. Isn't that something?" He sighed. "It is. But it also means our old methods, the ones Dad built this company on, they're obsolete." Maggie leaned in, her eyes filled with determination. "Then we adapt. We learn. We take these new tools and weave them into our legacy. It's not about abandoning the past, Jake. It's about integrating it with the future." Jacob nodded, lost in thought. The challenge was not just external. It was internal. A battle between holding on to the cherished past and embracing an uncertain but promising future. He walked over to his father's old mahogany desk, running his fingers over the intricate carvings. The desk had witnessed countless deals, heard countless conversations, and bore the weight of numerous challenges. And now, it would bear witness to the company's evolution. Picking up an old photograph of his father shaking hands with a client, Jacob felt a surge of determination. The essence of sales hadn't changed. It was still about relationships, trust, and delivering on promises. But the methods, the approach, they had to evolve. Setting the photograph down, he turned to Maggie. "All right, let's dive into this new world. Set up a meeting with the digital team. It's time we redefine Keller and Associates for the modern age. Maggie's face lit up with a smile. That's the spirit. I'll get on it. As she walked away, Jacob took one last look at the city. The changing landscape was not a threat but an opportunity. An opportunity to expand, innovate, and write a new chapter in the legacy of Keller and Associates. With renewed vigor, he walked towards his office, ready to embark on this journey into the unknown. The digital age awaited, and Jacob Keller was ready to embrace it. Chapter 2: The Digital Prospecting Revolution. In the dim light of his expansive office, Jacob sat surrounded by screens, each illuminating the dark with a spectrum of information. Line graphs danced with bar charts, web interfaces pulsated with live user data, and deep in the recesses of this digital matrix lay the promise of uncharted territories in sales. Whispers had been circulating of a new era in sales prospecting, an era driven not by gut instinct but by numbers, codes, and algorithms. Jacob had initially dismissed these tales as the stuff of science fiction. But now, the reality of the digital prospecting revolution beckoned, challenging every preconceived notion he held dear. As he delved deeper into the vast ocean of data analytics, he was astounded by its revelations. Patterns began to emerge, ones that would have been invisible to the human eye. These patterns painted a portrait of consumer behaviors, likes, dislikes, and even predictive buying patterns. Sales prospecting was no longer a game of darts in the dark, it had become a precise, laser-focused endeavor. A soft chime interrupted his musings. A holographic projection materialized before him. It was Lydia, the company's newly appointed chief data scientist. Her piercing blue eyes always seemed to see beyond the obvious, making her a valuable asset in these tumultuous times. "Good evening, Jacob," Lydia's hologram greeted. "I see you're familiarizing yourself with our data infrastructure." Jacob nodded, a tad overwhelmed. "It's vast, Lydia. I never imagined we had access to such insights." She smiled. "Welcome to the digital prospecting revolution. Data analytics is our new compass, guiding us through the maze of the modern market." "But it's not just about the data, is it?" Jacob inquired, recalling snippets of conversations about AI and machine learning. Lydia's projection moved closer, the excitement palpable in her virtual form. "Correct. Data gives us the raw material. AI and machine learning sculpted into actionable insights." Jacob leaned back, intrigued. "Explain." She paused, considering her words. "Imagine having a crystal ball that not only shows you a glimpse of the future but also learns from every interaction, refining its predictions with each query. That's what AI does for us. By analyzing past behaviors and current trends, it predicts future outcomes." "Like a self-learning fortune teller for sales?" Jacob mused. "Exactly," Lydia beamed. "And with machine learning, our systems grow smarter with each interaction, honing in on the most promising leads with precision." Jacob was beginning to grasp the magnitude of this revolution. "And where does this data come from? Surely we can't rely on internal sources alone." Lydia's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Ever heard of web scraping?" He frowned. "Sounds clandestine." "In a way, it is," she admitted. "Web scraping is our modern-day gold panning. The internet is a treasure trove of prospect data. Using specialized tools, we extract relevant information from public databases, forums, social media platforms, and more. It's like sifting through the sands of the digital riverbed, hunting for golden nuggets of potential leads." Jacob sat silent, processing the enormity of it all. The world outside, with its tangible boundaries and limitations, seemed almost archaic in comparison to the boundless realm of the digital universe. Lydia's projection began to fade. "Take your time, Jacob. It's a lot to digest. But remember, this revolution isn't about replacing our essence, it's about augmenting it." As the last traces of her hologram disappeared, Jacob was left in the company of his thoughts and the hum of machines. This wasn't just a technological shift, it was a paradigm shift. Sales had evolved from a craft to a science, driven by the amalgamation of human intuition and machine intelligence. Staring at the screens once more, he felt a rush of exhilaration. The digital prospecting revolution had dawned, heralding a new era of possibilities. And Keller and Associates was poised at its forefront, ready to navigate the intricate dance of data, machines, and human insight. Chapter 3: Social Media Sleuthing. The Manhattan skyline sparkled as dawn began to break, its silhouette crisscrossed by the digital projections of social media feeds, Instagram photos of influencers, TikTok videos pulsating with rhythm, and tweets fluttering like electronic birds. This was the new age of connection, of immediate expression, and perhaps, most importantly for Jacob, the new frontier of sales. Amid the soft glow of his office screens, he scrolled through a TikTok feed, watching as influencers displayed products, performed dances, and created narratives in mere seconds. To the untrained eye, these were mere moments of entertainment. But to Jacob, newly indoctrinated in the art of digital prospecting, they were an untapped reservoir of leads and opportunities. Who would have thought, he whispered, that the younger generation's obsession would become a gold mine for sales? His screens flickered, presenting Instagram feeds filled with vivid imagery, each post a visual story capturing emotions, moments, and products. As he delved deeper, he realized that this wasn't just about products, it was about lifestyles, aspirations, and dreams. Selling wasn't just about the item anymore, it was about the story around it. Lost in thought, a soft chime echoed through the room. A projection of Lydia materialized, this time bearing an aura of intrigue. Engrossed in the world of social media, I see. Jacob chuckled, it's fascinating. These platforms. They're not just about sharing, they're about connecting on a level we've never seen before. Lydia nodded, and for us, they're a treasure trove of insights. Beyond LinkedIn's professional veneer, platforms like TikTok and Instagram give us a window into the personal lives and preferences of potential leads. He pondered her words. But how do we filter through the noise? The vast sea of content seems overwhelming. That, Lydia said, leaning in, is where social listening tools come into play. Her fingers danced in the air, and the screens transformed, showcasing dashboards monitoring various social media platforms. These tools allow us to track mentions of our products, our competitors, or even certain keywords. They help us identify potential leads, gauge market sentiments, and even predict trends. Jacob watched, mesmerized as a graph showcased the rise in mentions of a competitor's product. So, we can essentially eavesdrop on the digital conversations of the world? Lydia grinned. Eavesdrop might be a strong word. Let's call it attentive observation. But remember, it's not just about listening, it's about engaging. He raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Engaging? Absolutely, she affirmed. Social media has democratized the playing field. It's not just about us reaching out to potential clients, they can reach us with a simple comment or direct message. Responding to them, acknowledging their feedback, engaging in authentic online interactions, that's how we build trust in this digital age. Jacob's mind raced. This wasn't just about collecting data, it was about building relationships, not in conference rooms or over elaborate dinners, but in comment sections, through likes, shares, and retweets. Lydia's hologram began to fade. Explore, Jacob, engage, listen, and understand. Social media is more than just platforms, it's a reflection of the world's pulse. And if we tune in, we can not only hear it but also shape it. Left alone, Jacob returned to the TikTok feed, watching with new eyes. He wasn't just an observer, he was a participant in a vast digital dance, where every post, comment, and share was a step, a gesture, a move in the intricate ballet of modern sales. As the city outside awoke, bathed in the golden hue of dawn, Jacob Keller, the stalwart of traditional sales, found himself transformed into a digital sleuth, ready to navigate the vibrant, ever-evolving maze of social media.
And in this maze, he wasn't lost, he was on a quest to connect, engage, and conquer.
Chapter 4: Gamified Lead Capture. The evening rain splattered against the panoramic windows of Jacob's high-rise office, turning the bustling streets below into a watery, shimmering painting. The outside world appeared to slow, yet inside, Jacob's mind raced at a feverish pace.
The world of sales had turned on its head. If social media sleuthing was the reconnaissance, then gamified lead capture was the art of seduction.
Across his main screen, a colorful interface displayed a spinning wheel, adorned with prizes, discounts, and promotional offerings.
Beside it, a prompt enticed visitors, spin to win.
It was simple, playful, and irresistible. Lydia appeared beside him, her appearance synchronized with a silvery chime. "Gaming, Jacob? At this hour?"
He glanced her way, a smirk forming.
"Gamification, Lydia.
There's a difference."
She chuckled, the sound echoing like crystal in the vast room.
Indeed.
The oldest trick in the book, making the tedious task of data collection fun.
But with a modern twist.
Jacob watched as a user on the site took their chance at the spinning wheel. The wheel whirred, landing on a 10% discount. The user's delight was palpable as they hastily entered their contact information to claim their reward.
"It's genius," he mused.
People love games, challenges, the thrill of a potential win.
And in their excitement, they willingly give us what we need, their contact details.
Lydia nodded, the lights casting shadows on her face, making her look mysterious and all-knowing.
It's more than just the allure of a game. It's the psychology of reward. People are more inclined to act if they perceive immediate value. Contests, quizzes, interactive content, they're not just frivolities. They're carefully crafted tools designed to entice and capture.
He pondered her words, recalling his own experiences.
"I remember participating in a quiz recently. It promised insights into my leadership style.
By the end of it, I was so engrossed, I didn't think twice about giving my email for the results."
Lydia's eyes twinkled with amusement. And there lies the power of interactive content.
By engaging the user, making them an active participant rather than a passive viewer, we create a bond, a sense of investment. And when they're invested, they're more likely to share, to participate, to give. Jacob scrolled further, his screens showcasing various examples, a contest urging users to share a product photo for a chance to win, a puzzle offering early access to a new product launch, and a story-building activity where participants could co-create content.
He was impressed. It's not just about capturing leads. It's about building a community. "Exactly," Lydia replied.
And the beauty of gamified lead capture is its versatility.
With ever-evolving technology, the possibilities are endless.
Virtual reality experiences, augmented reality treasure hunts, or even simple point-based reward systems, they all tap into our innate love for play and reward. Jacob mused, and in the process, we gather qualified leads.
Individuals genuinely interested in our offerings. Lydia nodded, indeed. But remember, with power comes responsibility.
It's one thing to capture leads, quite another to nurture and respect them.
Transparency is key. Always ensure participants know how their data will be used.
He acknowledged her wisdom, his gaze returning to the spinning wheel. It was mesmerizing, a symbol of the harmonious union of play and business. As the wheel spun, so did the world of sales, evolving, adapting, and forever seeking innovative ways to connect. As the hours slipped by, the rain outside gradually subsided, giving way to a starry canvas. The city below, with its labyrinth of streets and glowing windows, seemed like a giant game board. And in this grand game of commerce and connection, Jacob felt like a player, ready to roll the dice, take calculated risks, and embrace the thrilling unpredictability of the journey ahead. Chapter 5: The Art of Digital Cold Calling. The hushed tones of the city night were intermittently broken by the ghostly echoes of old-school phone rings. In a secluded corner of Jacob's technologically infused office, an antique phone sat, reminiscent of the bygone days of sales.
The days where cold calls were made with trepidation, hoping to catch a potential client in the brief moment of willingness. But those days were history.
The room came alive as Lydia's hologram sprang forth, this time holding a digital tablet that pulsed with a neon glow. "Cold calling," she began, her voice dripping with nostalgia, the bane and boon of salespeople.
But times have changed.
Jacob leaned back, his chair molding to his form.
Gone are the days of intrusive calls at dinner time. But the principle remains, doesn't it? Reaching out, making the first move. Lydia's eyes glimmered. Yes, but the medium, the art of it, has transformed. Welcome to the era of digital cold calling. She waved her hand, and the wall transformed into a gigantic screen.
A video email played out, a salesperson introducing himself, not through drab text but through compelling visuals, dynamic backgrounds, and a sincere smile. The video paused as Lydia turned to Jacob. Engagement, personalization, and sincerity, these are the keys. He watched intently as a GIF appeared on the screen. A personalized animation with the potential client's name, evolving into a product showcase. It was brief, impactful, and delightfully creative. "This is a cold call?"
he mused aloud. "In essence," Lydia replied. "But instead of a monotonous voice on a line, you have visually appealing, digestible content. It's less intrusive and more engaging." Jacob thought for a moment. But with such a radical shift, how do we measure its efficacy? A matrix of graphs and metrics enveloped the screen.
Lydia, with the grace of a maestro, explained, "The beauty of digital is its traceability. We can track open rates, engagement durations, click-through rates. And with advanced analytics, even the emotional response a recipient might have."
Jacob blinked in astonishment.
Emotional response?
That's diving deep. Lydia nodded. Precision is the new game.
Understanding when a prospect pauses, rewatches, or shares your content can give insights into their interests and pain points. But with all this data, Jacob interjected, how do we ensure we're not veering into the realm of invasion?
How do we maintain the human touch, the authenticity?
Lydia's hologram shimmered, her gaze piercing.
That's the balance every modern salesperson must strike.
Technology offers tools, but the art lies in how we wield them. She played a video email where the salesperson, instead of diving straight into a product pitch, shared a brief anecdote, resonating with the challenges of the pandemic, remote work, and finding small joys. It was human, relatable, and then seamlessly transitioned into how their product could alleviate some of those challenges. "The human touch," Jacob whispered, understanding dawning upon him. "Exactly," Lydia affirmed.
Digital cold calling is not about bombarding prospects with flashy visuals.
It's about reaching out, sharing a story, offering a solution. Jacob processed the influx of information, the metrics, the tools, the emotional nuance.
And if a particular strategy doesn't yield results? Lydia smiled, then we iterate. Digital allows for swift adaptability.
Change the narrative, modify the visuals, reposition the pitch. Measure, learn, and improve. As the digital tableau faded, Jacob's eyes returned to the antique phone, a symbol of the past. It stood as a reminder that while tools evolve, the core principle of connection remains timeless. In the embrace of night, with the city's heartbeats echoing in distant sirens and far-off dreams, Jacob Keller felt the weight and wonder of his journey. From the tactile rings of yesteryears to the digital symphonies of video mails and GIFs, the world of sales was as much a dance of evolution as it was a testament to the unchanging essence of human connection.
And as the digital dawn beckoned, he was ready to dance, to connect, to transcend the cold in cold calling, infusing it with warmth, sincerity, and a touch of digital magic.
Chapter 6: Virtual Networking and Webinars. Amidst the dim ambience of Jacob's expansive office, the wall alighted with an expanse of stars, mimicking the vastness of space. The stillness of the scene was suddenly interrupted by tiny glimmers moving, orbiting, connecting, a virtual cosmos of its own. Lydia emerged, her entrance accompanied by an ethereal sound, resembling the gentle hum of a galaxy. In this digital age, she began, her voice echoing the mysteries of the cosmos. The universe of business expands virtually. Jacob peered at the celestial dance before him. Virtual trade shows?
He questioned, recognizing the patterns. Lydia's fingers gracefully skimmed over the orbits. Yes. The new frontier.
The landscape where businesses, separated by physical distance, connect and converge in digital harmony. A distant star grew in prominence, becoming a virtual booth, complete with digital banners, chatbots, and holographic product demonstrations. Visitors, represented as tiny orbs of light, flitted about, interacting and engaging. "It's like a dream," Jacob whispered, awed.
But how does one stand out in such a vast expanse? Lydia's face illuminated with wisdom. By being a beacon. Hosting informative webinars, for instance. Not a hard sell but a soft strategy. Sharing knowledge, insights, while subtly introducing your offerings.
The scene transitioned to a virtual seminar hall, where a presenter elucidated on a topic, the audience wrapped in attention, represented by radiant pulses of light.
As the presenter subtly introduced a product as a solution, the pulses grew brighter, indicating interest.
Jacob marveled, the dynamics remained the same: educate, engage, entice. Indeed, Lydia affirmed.
But the medium has transformed. And with it comes the need for impeccable presentation, for the competition is but a click away.
The panorama shifted to display a myriad of tools and software, platforms offering seamless streaming, interactive chat functions, virtual breakout rooms, and real-time analytics. The armory, Lydia announced, to make the most of virtual networking. Jacob leaned forward, absorbing the plethora of information.
But with so many tools at our disposal, how do we choose?
Lydia glanced at him, her eyes revealing depths of eons.
By understanding your objective.
Do you want to educate a vast audience, engage in a niche discussion, or entertain while subtly marketing?
Each goal requires a different set of tools.
As she spoke, each tool lit up, showcasing its specialty: high-definition streaming, real-time engagement metrics, VR-integrated discussions, or even AI-enhanced candor sessions.
Jacob felt the weight of choices but also the excitement of possibilities.
Virtual trade shows, webinars, they've democratized networking. Anyone, from anywhere, can showcase, can learn.
Lydia nodded.
The barriers of geography, cost, and time have dissolved.
But with increased accessibility comes increased competition. Your content, your presentation, your engagement strategies, they need to be impeccable.
She gestured to the virtual cosmos. In this universe, you're not just competing with the booth next door but with the world. Jacob took a deep breath, processing the enormity.
And after the event, the webinar, how do we maintain the connection?
Lydia smiled, the age-old art of follow-up, enhanced by digital magic. Personalized emails, interactive content, perhaps even a virtual coffee chat. The celestial scene morphed into a cozy virtual cafe, where two luminous entities, representing individuals, conversed over digital brews, their pulses resonating with shared interests. Jacob chuckled, virtual coffee, now that's a concept. Lydia's form shimmered, in a world where reality integrates with virtuality, anything's possible. It's about creating experiences, memories, connections. She spread her arms, encompassing the vast digital universe.
This is the new age of networking.
Where stars, businesses, individuals, converge and connect.
where boundaries fade, and potentials are limitless.
As the ethereal sounds faded and Lydia's form dissolved into the digital night, Jacob was left pondering amidst the stars. The world of sales and networking had undergone a cosmic shift, and he, like a star, had the choice to merely twinkle from a distance or to shine, connect, and create constellations of business opportunities. Amidst the silent serenade of the virtual cosmos, Jacob felt a rush of exhilaration. He was ready to navigate this universe, armed with knowledge, tools, and the timeless art of genuine connection. Chapter 7: Sales Through Storytelling. Jacob's fingers danced rhythmically on the polished mahogany of his desk, their shadows playing with the dim, moody luminescence of his office.
His gaze remained fixed on the digital parchment before him, medium, an open canvas for storytellers of the new age.
A whisper of digital wind heralded Lydia's appearance, her form surrounded by luminescent scripts and narrations. Stories, she began, her voice carrying the weight of countless tales, are as old as time itself.
But in this digital era, they've evolved into powerful sales tools. He stared at her in contemplation. Stories to sell? Not a direct pitch?
She smiled, a knowing glint in her eyes. People relate to stories, Jacob.
They find themselves in characters, situations, emotions.
By narrating tales, you're not pushing a product, you're sharing a journey, wherein your offering naturally fits.
His fingers paused on the Substack screen. But how? How do I take a product and weave it into a tale? Lydia gestured, and the room transformed.
Blogs, digital journals, articles, all alive with stories, all subtly hinting at a product, a service.
You don't start with a product, she whispered, you begin with the audience. Understand their pains, joys, aspirations. And then, you craft.
Jacob watched a multimedia blog post unfold, a young entrepreneur's journey from idea inception to success. Infographics highlighted challenges, a podcast snippet delved deep into an emotional breakdown, and amidst this tapestry, a software tool subtly made its appearance as the savior.
It's not overt, he mused. It's part of the journey.
Exactly, Lydia affirmed.
Story selling? It's the art of embedding your offering within a narrative so compelling, so relatable, that the audience feels it's a natural solution.
The room reverberated with audio snippets from podcasts, testimonials, tales of despair and triumph. Each story had a hero, a challenge, and a tool or service as the ally. Jacob was immersed.
It's so much more intimate, personal. Lydia nodded. People buy from those they trust.
And what better way to build trust than by sharing genuine stories? She gestured again, and the focus shifted to multimedia elements. Podcasts with heart-to-heart conversations, infographics simplifying complex issues, video snippets bringing characters to life. In this age, your narrative isn't restricted to just words.
You have an array of tools to paint a vivid picture.
Jacob leaned back, absorbing the symphony of multimedia narratives. So, I craft stories that resonate, subtly integrating my offering, using various mediums to enhance the narrative. Indeed, Lydia smiled. And platforms like Medium, Substack, blogs, they're your stages, where your stories come alive, touch hearts, and subtly introduce your offerings.
He pondered for a moment. It's an art and a science. She nodded. An art in crafting, a science in understanding your audience and choosing the right medium.
A hush fell over the room, broken only by the distant digital whispers of countless stories being written, shared, resonating with audiences across the cosmos. Jacob finally broke the silence.
Story selling, it's the future, isn't it?
Lydia, her form beginning to fade into the digital tapestry, whispered back, it's as ancient as time and as fresh as the digital dawn.
For even in this age of technology, the human heart seeks tales to connect, to believe, to buy into.
And as her form vanished, Jacob sat amidst the digital glow, a storyteller in the vast digital expanse, ready to weave tales that sold, not just products, but dreams, hopes, and solutions.
In this intricate dance of narratives and sales, he was not just a businessman, he was a bard of the digital age.
Chapter 8: The Rebirth of Direct Mail. In the serene glow of twilight, Jacob's home office, adorned with antiquities and mementos of bygone days, seemed like a relic of the past. Amidst dusty books and fading photographs, a pile of fresh mail caught his eye. It was an anachronism, a tactile sensation in an age of digital detachment. As he reached for the stack, Lydia materialized, an ethereal figure juxtaposed against the room's aged charm. "Ah, direct mail," she mused, her voice echoing the sounds of rustling paper and sealed envelopes. Old school, yet undergoing a rebirth. Jacob smirked, holding up a postcard. In this digital age, why revert to the tangible? Lydia floated closer, her fingers brushing the postcard's edges. Because in a world of fleeting digital impressions, the tactile leaves a lasting memory.
But, she added with a sly smile, with a new age flair.
The postcard in Jacob's hand shimmered, transforming into a modern masterpiece. The picture of a beach scene became three-dimensional, waves lapping at the shore as seagulls cried overhead, a snippet of augmented reality.
His eyes widened.
"Ah. Indirect mail?"
Lydia nodded. Marrying the tangible with the digital. Scan the postcard with a phone, and the scene comes alive.
A hotel advertisement, perhaps, where the waves beckon you, the sunsets promise serenity. Jacob marveled at the augmented imagery, feeling the pull of the tranquil beach.
It's mesmerizing. And effective, Lydia added.
Imagine receiving a brochure for a car. Scan it, and you're sitting inside, feeling the leather seats, hearing the engine purr. The possibilities unfolded in his mind: real estate brochures where homes opened their doors, product catalogs where items showcased their features in three-dimensional glory. He looked up, realization dawning.
It's not just about reading. It's about experiencing. Lydia smiled, her form shimmering with digital sparkles. Exactly. But the experience doesn't end there.
She waved her hand, and another envelope appeared, this one adorned with a curious QR code. Jacob, intrigued, scanned it with his phone. Instantly, a website loaded, a special offer from the sender, along with interactive content. QR codes, Lydia explained, bridge the gap between the tangible and the online world.
Scan, and you're transported to a digital realm, a product page, a video, an exclusive offer. Jacob pondered.
So, it's direct mail with immediate actionability.
Yes. And measurability. Lydia's eyes twinkled. Every scan, every interaction can be tracked. You'll know who engaged, how they did so, and what captured their interest. It's old school techniques combined with modern analytics. The weight of the revelation pressed on Jacob.
Direct mail, once deemed obsolete, was being reborn, more powerful, more immersive.
It wasn't just about sending information, it was about initiating experiences, triggering actions.
Lydia continued, in this digital cacophony, tangible mail stands out.
But it's not just about being different, it's about being memorable.
With our QR codes and modern design, direct mail isn't just revived, it's revolutionized. She gestured at the array of mail on the desk, postcards, brochures, catalogs, all pulsating with potential digital life, waiting to be unlocked by curious recipients. Jacob's gaze shifted from the tactile mail to the vast digital realm beyond his window. In a world moving so fast, perhaps there's value in pausing, touching, feeling. Perhaps the tangible isn't obsolete, it's just evolving. Lydia's ethereal form began to fade, her voice a soft whisper amidst the echoes of rustling paper. Evolution, Jacob, isn't about discarding the old but about transforming it with the new. Direct mail's rebirth is a testament to that.
And as the twilight deepened, Jacob sat in contemplative silence, surrounded by relics of the past and promises of the future.
In this intricate dance of the tangible and digital, he recognized a profound truth: evolution was not linear but cyclical, and the rebirth of direct mail was just one revolution in the ever-turning wheel of progress. Chapter 9: Closing Business in the Virtual Realm. Jacob's surroundings dissolved into a haze of digital fog, a space where the tangible boundaries of his office gave way to the boundless virtual realm.
The room, no longer confined by walls, was a vast expanse of shimmering pixels and soft luminescent glows. This was the marketplace of the future.
Lydia appeared beside him, a silhouette of iridescent light against the digital void. "Welcome to the frontier of sales," she intoned, her voice resonating with the hum of countless data streams. A chime rang out, and suddenly, before Jacob stood an auditorium filled with faceless avatars. "Virtual reality sales presentations," Lydia gestured, her fingers tracing intricate patterns in the air. A screen unfolded, showcasing a dynamic product presentation, the images and graphics springing to life in three-dimensional splendor. Jacob's avatar stepped forward, his virtual voice echoing,
"It's so immersive." Lydia nodded, her form casting radiant reflections on the virtual screen.
"VR presentations aren't just slides or videos.
They're experiences.
Your clients are no longer passive observers, they're participants in a journey you craft." As the presentation played out, Jacob saw potential clients reaching out, interacting with data points, immersing themselves in product simulations, and even conversing with virtual reps.
It was an engagement level he hadn't imagined.
Lydia shifted, and the scene morphed.
Now, they stood in a hyper-realistic virtual showroom. "Offer product demonstrations," she announced.
Jacob observed as digital products ranging from gadgets to vehicles materialized, their features highlighted with augmented overlays. A car's engine was exposed, its workings detailed in intricate AR animations.
A smartphone floated, its components labeled, its functions demonstrated in real-time simulations.
"It's not just about showing," Lydia whispered, her voice infused with wonder.
"It's about letting them see, touch, and feel. Even if it's through a digital medium."
Jacob marveled as he watched a client, through their AR-enhanced device, delve deep into a product, understanding its nuances, its value proposition. "It's as close to real as it gets," he murmured.
Lydia smiled, her digital form rippling.
"The line between the real and the virtual is blurring, Jacob. But the heart of sales remains unchanged, rapport building."
The scene shifted once more. This time, they were in a cozy virtual lounge.
Avatars of Jacob and a potential client sat across from each other, the ambience mimicking a high-end coffee shop. Soft jazz played in the background. "Transitioning face-to-face rapport building to digital platforms," Lydia said. "Here, you can share stories, build trust, all in a controlled environment that mimics the intimacy of a face-to-face meeting." Jacob noticed the details, the way his avatar's expressions mirrored his own, the simulated warmth of the virtual coffee cup, the ambient noises that made the interaction feel genuine. It wasn't just a cold digital interface, it was an environment designed for connection. He turned to Lydia, realization dawning.
"It's not about replacing the human touch. It's about recreating it, adapting it for the digital age." Lydia nodded. "Exactly.
Closing business is about trust, understanding, connection.
Whether it's the tangible world or the virtual realm, that truth remains."
Jacob pondered her words. Here, in this vast digital space, he saw the future of sales, an amalgamation of cutting-edge technology and timeless human values. He understood that while the tools might change, the essence of closing business, of forming bonds and understanding needs, would always remain. As the virtual realm faded, giving way to the familiar surroundings of his office, Jacob was left with a profound sense of clarity.
The challenges of the digital age were not insurmountable, they were opportunities.
Opportunities to adapt, to innovate, to connect in ways previously unimagined. And as the last remnants of the virtual world dissipated, Lydia's voice lingered, a gentle reminder of the ever-evolving dance of business and technology. Remember, Jacob, in the heart of every transaction, behind every screen, every pixel, is a human being seeking connection.
That is your realm, be it virtual or real.
Chapter 10, Conclusion and Future Predictions. The golden hues of dawn streamed through Jacob's window, casting a warm glow over the room filled with relics of the past and promises of the future. In the hush of the early morning, the weight of his recent journey through the digital realm of sales settled heavily upon him.
The world he once knew was shifting, giving way to a future rich with possibility yet fraught with challenges.
Beside his oak desk, Lydia's figure emerged, a blend of ethereal and tangible, representing the bridge between the old and the new.
It's been quite the journey, hasn't it? She mused, her voice reflecting both wonder and wisdom. Jacob nodded. A journey that's far from over. I've seen the present, Lydia.
But what of the future? A holographic screen sprang to life, depicting vistas of augmented cities, intertwined human-machine interactions, and spaces where the lines between reality and virtuality were indecipherable. Emerging technologies, Lydia began, are not mere tools but extensions of our desires, our needs.
They will shape the sales landscape in ways we can scarcely imagine.
She waved a hand, and the screen zoomed in on bustling digital marketplaces where transactions occurred through neural interfaces. Direct communication with the mind, bypassing screens and devices.
A future where understanding client needs might be as simple as a shared thought. Jacob's eyes widened. It's almost magical. Lydia smiled, her form shimmering with a myriad of colors. Magic is just science we don't yet understand. But with every advancement comes the challenge of adaptability.
The scene shifted, showing sales professionals undergoing digital training, simulating sales scenarios in virtual environments, and enhancing their skills using AI-driven insights. The key, Lydia emphasized, is staying agile. The tools will change, the methods will evolve, but your ability to adapt will determine your success. Jacob pondered her words, recalling the days when sales were limited to face-to-face meetings and tangible products.
It's not just about embracing the new but understanding the essence of sales beneath the layers of technology. Lydia's eyes glowed approvingly. Precisely.
It's about human connection, understanding, trust.
Technology is but a medium, a conduit.
Your adaptability, your willingness to evolve, will ensure you remain relevant. Another scene appeared, showing sales professionals engaged in continuous learning, attending digital seminars, and accessing vast repositories of knowledge through neural implants. A continuous learning mindset, Lydia emphasized, is paramount.
The pace of change is relentless.
Only by seeking knowledge, by being curious and open, can one navigate the turbulent waters of the sales landscape. Jacob felt a surge of inspiration, a commitment to not just adapt but to lead, to shape the future rather than merely react to it.
It's a daunting task, he confessed.
Lydia's form began to dissipate, her voice echoing with the promise of tomorrows yet to come.
Daunting, yes, but not insurmountable.
Remember, Jacob, the essence of sales, the heart of every transaction, is timeless.
Tools and methods will evolve, but your purpose remains. Seek to understand, to connect, to build trust. That is the constant in an ever-changing world.
And as the first rays of the sun illuminated the horizon, Jacob was left with a profound sense of purpose. The future was a tapestry of challenges and opportunities, of old truths and new frontiers. But armed with adaptability, a thirst for knowledge, and an unwavering commitment to the essence of sales, he felt ready to face whatever the future held. With a newfound vigor, he looked to the horizon, ready to embark on the next chapter of his sales journey, knowing that the key to future success lay in blending the timeless truths of the past with the boundless possibilities of tomorrow.